Hello, my friends. Welcome back. How are you? I hope doing well. Are you ready to see what we have for our inspiration today? All will be well, and all will be well, and all manners of things will be well. Julian of Norwich. That was beautiful. Okay, let's cruise on over and see what I'm up to today. I have this alphabet mold here, and then the other side of it is here. And I'm going to need both pieces because the letters that I'm going to need. Now, we're going to, the beginning of school has started, so I thought this would be a super fun way for my daughter to put on Kaysen's backpack. And then it's going to be his initials. And it'll just be a super fun way for him to learn his initials and separate his backpack from everyone else's. And maybe, the teacher can, know which backpack is his because his initials will be on it, right? And I don't know, she may put it on his lunch box or his book bag. But I just thought it would be a really fun way for him to start the school year with these really cool resin letters on his backpack. So I picked out, he's a boy, so I can't do glitter. I really would love to throw a lot of glitter in here because y'all know I love glitter, but I can't do that. So I picked out a really pretty blue and a really pretty green. And then I picked out some dinosaurs that we're going to put in one of the letters. The blue mica powder is one of Let's Resin's mica powders. And the green that I'm using is another brand that I purchased off of Amazon. It came in I believe it was 50 of the little packets of all different colors. And I'm not real sure on the brand. Here are the pins right here that I'm going to glue onto the back so that they can clip onto his backpack. And I just ordered, that variety off of Amazon. We're going to start, I guess, with the G, and that's his middle initial. And I sprayed a little bit of alcohol in the mold. And now I'm going to drop some of that clear resin down in there. And this is the one we'll put the dinosaurs in. And now I'm going to go ahead and drop some resin down into my cups that I put the mica powders down into. And we'll go ahead and get those stirred up right quick, if I don't spill it first. I always make a mess. And I always like to put my mica powder down in my cup first and then add just a little bit of resin and get the mica powder stirred up really well. For those of you that may be new to my channel and don't know that. And then I add the rest of my resin. Now I noticed there's a number 3 down in the bottom of this cup and my mica powder is trapped down there in it. And I don't want it to come out as I'm pouring and get mica powder lumps into my piece. So I'm making sure I get it out of there and get it stirred up really good. Sometimes that happens and sometimes it doesn't. But I always make sure to pay attention to the bottom of the cup to see if it does. Now see, on this one, it didn't do it. So I don't have to go down there and get the resin out of the little number on the bottom of the cup. And I'm just stirring it up really good. How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's doing okay. I'm doing pretty good. I'm going to the grocery store right after I get done with my video. And I have been getting these kettle corn. It comes in like a chip bag. And it's sweet kettle corn. And oh my goodness, they are so good. And I'm going to pick me up another bag of those. Now what I'm doing here is I'm testing to see if my dinosaur inclusions are going to rub off that color if alcohol gets on them. And it will. I don't know if y'all can see that. I don't know if it's picking it up really well. Let's go ahead and pick out one of the brighter colors so I can show you. And I always test my inclusions. Yep, see there? The alcohol is going to make it rub off. So now I know not to spray alcohol anywhere near these in the resin because it will disperse that color through my resin letter. Okay, we're going to go ahead and add the rest of our resin to our cups that we put the mica powders into. And I'm just going to tilt that cup over here upside down and let the rest of the resin drip out of it. And let's go ahead and stir these up, and we'll let them sit to the side and degas a bit. While we put the dinosaurs in the letter G. I'm not sure how many I can fit in this letter. I'm hoping they will go down in there. Okay, I got that one in with no problem. I think there's like 4 different colors of these, so I should be able to get one of each color in there, I'm thinking. I'm not sure. We're going to try, though. I got 2 in there. Surely 2 more can fit. But what I'm worried about is when the G comes up into the curve, I'm worried about how I'm going to get one in there. So let's see. I may be able to get 5 in here. Okay, I got 4. Now that part looks a little bit weird, so we're going to have to fix that some kind of way. I know this dinosaur's not going to fit in there. Okay, he's hanging out a little bit. Why don't we just cut off a little bit of his tail? Maybe he won't notice. He just doesn't have a long tail. Let's see, I may need to trim off a little bit more. Nope, I think it's good. I have a few bubbles in there. So I'm going to make sure I push these down and push those bubbles to the top. Because I want to be careful and not get any alcohol anywhere near these because they'll bleed into my letter. And I don't want that. So I'm just going to have to dig the bubbles out. And I only see about 2 or 3 in there. I'm going to try to pop them with the heat gun. But I don't want to add too much heat because I don't want my inclusions to curl up in there either. Okay, I'm going to spray a little alcohol in the C up here while I put my hand over the G so it doesn't get any alcohol in it. And we're going to go ahead and pour the C. Okay, I'm going to spray a little bit in the W over here. And we're going to use the blue in that letter. I was going to use my smaller letters, but I just didn't think they looked as good as these. These are like, I think, the perfect size for a book bag. They're not too big and they're not too small. But my other letters were way too small. They're kind of like earring size. And then of course, all my other letters are way too big. Okay, I'm just using my heat gun to pop any surface bubbles and heat that resin up just a little bit. And then I held back the alcohol and I sprayed the G from afar, you know, so it would just, there was like some really, really tiny bubbles, you know, that I couldn't pull out or anything. So I just held it back really far and sprayed it. And I think that's going to be just fine. Now I'm going to cover it and spray the C and the W. And I left a little bit of room in that G for what we're going to do with it now. Our letters have cured. And I found these powders right here. They are, I believe they're glow in the dark. I've never used them before. They came as a free gift in something. I can't even remember what. I've had them for a long time. But they came with a UV resin kit. And I'm going to do UV resin for our next step in this G. So I'm going to take some of this glow in the dark powder here that came in a UV resin kit. And I'm just dropping it down in my little measuring cup here. And now I'm going to get some of the blue. I think the blue and the greens are the brightest glowing of all with glow-in-the-dark powders. Now I sped the video up a little bit here while I'm stirring these up because I did stir it very slow because this is UV resin and I don't want to incorporate a lot of bubbles into the UV resin. And I picked out a green and a blue in the UV resin. They're already colored. And I don't know where they came from. They don't have a name on them. I looked to try to tell you where they came from, but they have absolutely no name on them whatsoever. So I have no idea where I got them from. Probably from Amazon. And now I'm going to take that blue UV resin and I'm going to drop some of it into the blue and stir it up. And I'm really not seeing any bubbles in this UV resin. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and drop some of this color in the G. And I'm just going to do half of it green and half of it blue. And that way, if he's got his backpack on at night, you'll be able to see exactly where he's at because one of his letters will be glowing. You know, small kids like that, they can be anywhere. They love to run and play. So you'll be able to see where he's at night if he's got his backpack on. Which, you know, little kids, when they're first starting school, they love to keep their backpacks on. Now I'm going to take that blue and I'm going to drop it in on the bottom here. And I'm hoping I can get it to cure on the other side because there's, you know, regular resin on the other side. But I'm just going to turn the mold over when I start to cure it and cure it on both sides. And hopefully that will get it cured up. And I'm not pouring it deep. I'm putting a really thin layer in here. There's still room left to top this mold off. It is nowhere near topped off yet. So I'm just going to do it in stages. We're going to go ahead and cure this up right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and pour some more UV resin in there. But we're not going to put the glow powders in it. I'm just going to pour the blue and the green on top of this. And then cure it again. And then that way the letter will be full. But I wanted to do it in stages to be sure that I did get the letter fully cured. And I'm just going through it right now, making sure that it's all around the edges and everywhere. And now I'm just cleaning up my mesh right here on the edges. And that side, it just needed a little bit more to make it full. So I just added like a little drop. Now I'm going to go ahead and cure it up. And while that's curing, let's demold that little level that I made yesterday. There it is. And it turned out perfect. Look at that. Now I have a glitter level. Isn't that cute? It was something I was working on and I had extra left over. So that's why it ended up being the background that color. But I love it. You hardly ever see levels that have glitter in them. And it works perfectly. Look at that. I think it looks pretty good. What do y'all think about that? Okay, let's see if this letter is cured. I'm going to take my stick and see. I'm going to go ahead and cure it a little bit more. Okay, I turned it over and cured it on the other side as well. Now let's go ahead and go over it with the clear. Well, it's not clear, but I'm not going to put the glow powder in it. This is the green, and I'm going to go on top of the green with it. And then I'm going to get the blue and go on top of the blue down here. And that way the letter will be completely full now. I'm going to take my stick and make sure it's moved to the edges. And make sure that I don't have any bubbles, which I don't see any bubbles. Okay, let's go ahead and cure it up. And while that's curing, let's demold our letter over here. Okay, it looks good. I don't have any bubbles in there, none on the edges. I'm trying to see where I'm going to glue this at. And I think we're going to have to glue it like that. Just kind of to the side. Yeah, right like that. And that'll work out perfect. And I'm going to do it with my Gorilla Glue because it dries clear. And it's very strong. It is my go-to glue. And I'm going to go ahead and drop 2 hefty drops over the two little places that you would put, like, I guess, screws through. Or some way that you was going to maybe place it onto something. There's 2 little holes in it. And I'm just putting 2 hefty dots of glue on those holes. And I'm going to take my little stick here and make sure that it's covered the whole bottom part of the pen. See where those holes are? I just put 2 big hefty dots of glue there. And now I'm just moving it around, making sure it covers the bottom part of that pen. Okay, now I think we're cured up over here. Let's go ahead and demold this letter up here, the C. Okay, that looks really good. Now let's pop out this one. And I just noticed something. The G was facing me the right way, and I didn't even notice that. My dinosaur should have been this way and not on the bottom. Do you see what I just did, y'all? Now you're not going to be able to see the dinosaurs. Oh, why did I do that? I knew better. Goodness. Okay, it's still going to work. We're still going to make it work. No biggie. You'll still be able to see the dinosaurs from the side. So let's get the pins on the other two letters. And we'll do the C like that, up and down on there, because it'll fit perfect right like that. And then on the G, see, you'll be able to see it from the side. No big deal. And I may remake it. That's probably what I'll end up doing. Remaking it and making sure the dinosaurs are facing up. But just for the sake of my video, I'm going to go ahead and finish it out. Yeah, I got to put his dinosaurs facing up. And I'll just give him this one and he can, I don't know, put it on something else. And that pen will fit perfect right here, going up and down. And I put a pretty good amount of glue on there. And now we're going to get the C, and I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with it. I added 2 hefty squirts of glue. And then I'm moving it around, making sure it covers that bottom base of the pen. I'm going to straighten it up a little bit. Make sure I get it straight. And then sit it down, and I'm going to let them dry. And then we'll be back. Okay, we're back, and they're dry. They look pretty good. Let's open it. And then close it. So all of that works. It's functional. So what do you guys think about that? Do you think this is a pretty good idea for, you know, back to school book bags? I think it's pretty cute. Now turn the lights out and let's check out how that letter is going to glow. And it's glowing really well. And look at those dinosaurs. Yes, I'm definitely going to have to remake that G. Okay, we have reached the end, my friends. Thanks for watching and hanging out with me. I will see you tomorrow. God bless you. Goodbye, my friends.